Today we talk about Robocop, one of my favorite movies. It's from Paul Verhoeven, who made some of my other favorite sci-fi action movies like Starship Troopers, Total Recall. The movie's about a cop who gets killed on his first day on the job, becomes a robot, and then has to solve his own murder. Takes place in a dystopian Detroit that's slowly being overtaken by OCP, an evil corporation. Love this movie. Go Robo. Great characters, great action, awesome theme song. Lots of cool little world building elements like the crazy, ridiculous commercials and the super dark, depressing news stories. Great cast. Stars Peter Weller as RoboCop. Awesome performance. He's in a total robotic suit with only his mouth exposed. Kurtwood Smith as Clarence Boddicker. He's a evil crime lord scumbag. Ronnie Cox as Dick Jones, one of the worst evil corporate CEOs in movies ever. Nancy Allen as Ann Lewis, Murphy's partner, who's awesome, and then Miguel Ferrer as Bob Warren, the OCP CEO, starts the RoboCop program. Great cast, a lot of great side characters like Clarence's gang and then the other cops at the precinct. The movie opens up with Murphy, first day on the job, meets Lewis, and they begin their partnership. And I really like these scenes of them getting to know each other. I sort of wish they had years of partnership before he gets killed. I thought that would have been more impactful. So I like in RoboCop 2, we get more of their partnership. So that's a cool dynamic. We get to see Dick Jones, OCP president, show off his new military robot, the 209, and it ends up being a disaster. Ends up shooting a guy 40 times and massacring him. It's a total bloodbath. uh, Bob Jones uses as an opportunity to put forth his RoboCop program, and he gets greenlit. Um, Lewis and Murphy confront Clarence and his gang. They're a bunch of psychopaths, get ambushed, and Murphy gets captured. And then we get to see one of the most brutal execution scenes in the movie. They taunt and torture him, and then just kill him. They blow off his hand. It's horrific, and then they just shoot him like 30 times with shotguns. It's really gruesome. Afterwards, we get a really realistic, dark hospital scene where they try to revive him, and it just really kind of was disturbing how realistic it seemed. We get to see Murphy's POV shift to RoboCop as he awakens as as a robot with a computer screen as his visual. And we really get to see the most inhumane scenes of the movie, I think, because they stop seeing him as a human and he's a thing, an object, a product. And probably the darkest line of the movie for me is when they're talking about his arms, and Bob Moore's like, he's supposed to be a full robot, so lose the arm. I thought that was pretty dark, and that kind of stuck with me. We get to see the full reveal of his costume at the police station, and I really like the armor. I like his movements. I like his sound effects. I love the giant gun. I always thought it was weird he holsters his gun inside of his leg. I thought that was kind of silly, but then again, I think it would be silly to see him holster the gun outside his body, so I don't think I would have liked either way. But the thing about RoboCop, I guess it makes him a good asset is he's like bulletproof and is really strong. So I think OCP could have just made like a power armor or power suit. That would probably been a better use of the technology, but they seem pretty obsessed with making cyborgs. So I don't know. It seems like they could have used their technology smarter. But you can see Robo hit the streets and fight crime, but really he's not really arresting anybody. He sort of just punches people out and shoots them, and uh, people love it. He becomes really popular, and this gives a lot of success to Bob Morton that causes friction with Dick Jones, who ends up having to have him executed by Clarence for stealing the spotlight. The movie for me really picks up when Robo confronts Emil, one of the gang members who kills him, and it triggers him to remember his past because for some reason OCP wiped his memory, which doesn't make sense because I thought that the point was to stick his brain in a robot so the robot would have the experience of an officer, but they wipe his memory. I don't understand. But this awakens Robo's memories and he realizes he's been murdered and he's compelled to, bring his killers to justice. So he goes after Clarence and his gang. He confronts Nash, one of the gang members at a club, and he knocks his gun away and some dude catches, starts dancing with it. That was silly. Then we get the awesome shootout at the drug factory where Robo is just like annihilating people, just blowing people away left and right, and he's like relentless, like a juggernaut, just shooting everybody. It's awesome. And then we get to see him arrest Clarence, and then I guess more of his humanity comes out because he didn't just like slap the cuffs on him and take him away. He like whips his ass. He like throws him to glass, cuts him up. He just wants revenge, and you get to see more of his humanity come out. Clarence gets up Dick Jones as like the criminal mastermind, so Murphy goes after him. We get to see the shot of the OCP building. I hate it. I hate the architecture. It looks stupid. Um, but Robo was unable to arrest Dick Jones because of a fourth secret prime directive where he can't harm a CEO of the company, which is kind of stupid because it backfires later on when he gets fired. He probably should have made it more specific. But Robo gets ambushed by Ed 209 who falls down the stairs, and it's really stupid and hilarious, and I like the big squealing noise it makes. It's kind of silly. And then he also gets ambushed by a bunch of cops, and kind of thought it was disturbing when he gets shot at this time, he's scared. Whereas earlier when he's more a machine, he doesn't care. He just takes the bullets and keeps going. Here he's like fearful of his life. He's more human. I thought that was a cool little touch. He gets rescued by Lewis, and then we have some of the most like depressing, dark scenes of the movie where he's aware of who he is, and he considers himself a monster now. And when he tells Anne to leave him alone, it's really dark and depressing. That's a really sad line. Clarence and his gang goes after Lewis and Murphy. They have these really awesome, over-the-top, like anti-aircraft, anti-tank rifles. I love those guns; they're so cool. And then they have a confrontation. Emil ends up driving the van into like a toxic waste bed, and then he has one of the most like disgusting, like horrific, like transformation scenes. And he's making this horrible like howling noise where it's really like disgusting. And then he gets nailed by the car and liquefies. Super gross. uh, Robo and Clarence have a fist fight, and he ends up like spiking Clarence in the throat, and you get that splash of blood. It's like so satisfying. It's like uh, really cool death. He goes after Dick Jones to arrest him. Um, Dick Jones gets fired, so Robo's able to shoot him out a window, and his puppet falls down. The building looks kind of stupid with his arms waving. And then at the end, he acknowledges himself as Murphy. He's you know human again, and so the movie ends. Um, Great finale. Love the movie all around. I love part two. Three is not so good. The remake I didn't like. And one thing I discovered recently is there's actually a 90s TV show that came out that I never seen until the last couple of years. So check that out if you can. I think all the Robocops are on Max right now, and highly recommended. Thank you.